Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Week 13 of the Simulation Football League. It's a very important game in the playoff race between the Minnesota Legend and the Arizona Scorpions. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Ramos Lin. Alongside me in the booth is Checks Notes, Mr. Cameron Irvine. Fred Solberg may be joining me here in just a minute, but in the meantime, we're going to kick this off. And this is a game where both Arizona and Minnesota have definite and very marked strengths. Arizona is incredibly good at running the football. Obviously, we saw a historic performance out of DJ Moses last time out, and the the Minnesota Legend are very good in the defensive line. That should be the key matchup of the game for me. Ashley Jackson has to take care of the football, and Minnesota needs to find some sort of offense. I think the defense is good enough to keep the game close, but Minnesota has to find some offense in this game, and put the ball in the end zone a couple times. This is gonna be heads for Minnesota, and they will receive, so they will try to put some points on the board early against this Arizona defense that is very stingy. We are set to kick this one away. Arizona in their white jerseys, orange helmets, orange pants. Minnesota wearing their black uniforms with green helmets. And we are underway. This is a big, long kickoff and knelt down in the end zone for a touchback. So Minnesota will start us off at the 20-yard line. We are going to introduce you to that offense in just a minute. But Minnesota at home, 3-7 on the season. Arizona at 7-3. We're going to start with 3 wide receivers and 2 backs in the backfield. That's Jason France as a fullback, and Reno will throw. Reno drops back with time. The pass is caught for a first down, a gain of 15 yards to Jay Taylor. Very unique helmet that the Minnesota Legend are wearing today. Those Sasquatch eyes in front of the helmet. Looking a little bit like Spider-Man's mask. I like him though. First down and 10. Ball at the 36-yard line. Split backs formation. Reno to throw. Reno passes middle. Another completion. It's going to be number 19, Vincalia. Let's introduce you to the rest of the Minnesota offense. Johnny Reno is the quarterback. The running back is Colin Hart. The receivers are Deezer Powell, Quag Mam, Jay Taylor, and Vincalia. And the tight ends are Jay Hayden and Jason France. Second down and 4. It's going to be the first handoff of the game. That's going to be Colin Hart to the right-hand side. It's a gain of about 2 yards. And it's going to be 3rd and 2 as Arizona will try to get their first stop of the game. Two wide receivers on the field, 2 tight ends to the right side, and a 4-4 defense here for Arizona. Single back man gets the ball. That's Colin Hart, and good enough for a first. No, they're going to rule him shy. And I think this will be a good time for a challenge here. Let's see if the Minnesota coaching staff throws the red flag, and they do. So let's take a retroactive look at the play presented by Retroid. Get your SFL console at goretroid.com. This one is certainly close, as the Minnesota coaching staff thinks he got past the line. Remember, the line is not official, but it's a pretty good indication. I think he's over the line, at least on first glance. I think he's over the line. Let's take a look at this one. Is certainly close. Again, the yellow line, not official, but pretty accurate. And the ruling of the field is overturned. Now, is that a first down? You're going to see here. The ruling on the field is overturned. Is that enough for a first down? Looks like the special teams unit of the Arizona Scorpions staying on the sidelines. And yes, it is enough for a first down. Minnesota converts on 3rd down. 1st and 10 coming up here. 8 minutes, 30 seconds left here in the first quarter. We're just getting started. First offense of the game for Minnesota if you're just joining us. 4-4 defense again for the Scorpions. Hart gets the ball anyway, and he will not go anywhere. 2nd and 10 coming up. Let's introduce you to the Arizona defense. Dede Sachs and Alex Constantine are the defensive ends. Hunter Norwood and David Tilley are the defensive tackles. Linebackers are Sean Moore, J.R. Lawless, and Nathaniel Diggs. The corners are Ricky Robinson, Parker Thomas, Eric Garrison, and Zach Hamburger. And the safeties are Iverson Gamble and the legendary Eddie Gage. Reno to throw, pass, middle is caught. And that's a good gain of about 9.5 to Deezer Powell. Just shy of the 1st down marker. It's going to be 3rd and inches coming up. I formation heavy set. Vencalia set as a wingback. Tied to the line. It's going to be a pitch to that side. Colin Howard will easily pick up a 1st down. Gets about 2.5 on the play. And this is as good of a drive as you could have expected from Minnesota. A team that has struggled offensively over the last few weeks. Against a team in Arizona who's been red hot over the past few weeks. Nickel defense here for the Scorpions. Handoff goes to Colin Hart, breaking a tackle and picking up 3 yards. Really like the variety of offense that Minnesota is having so far tonight. Colin Hart with 5 carries for 9 yards. Johnny Reno, 3 of 3, good start. And Vencalia, Jay Taylor, and Deezer Powell all have a target. Offset I formation here for Reno. Handoff goes to the middle. That is going to be Colin Hart again. And Hart has another healthy gain of 5 yards. What do you think so far, Cam? I mean, this has been a really good, solid drive here for Minnesota.
Yeah, thanks for holding it down, Ramos. Minnesota off to a nice start. Big challenge to make sure their offense stays on the field, and this is what they want.
Yeah, Colin Hart, another run for the running back. That's his 7th run of the first drive alone, and Arizona's defense cannot get Minnesota off the field. Cam, I was saying Minnesota has really struggled offensively over the last few weeks, but it looks, at least on this drive, they do have an identity.
Well, I think they got an identity with these uniforms too, Ramos. If you haven't mentioned them already, they are just gorgeous.
Yeah, I really like him. I was saying as Colin Hart gets a handoff, breaks a tackle. Colin Hart is off to the races, breaks another tackle, and Colin Hart is in for a touchdown.
It's an injury.
It looks like we have an injury. That's Sean Moore. It's a huge injury right there at the middle of this defense. So, man, the double no luck here for Arizona, Cam. They allow 6 points, and now one of their cornerstones may be out for a little bit.
And that's why you got to play these games, Ramos, right? I mean, Arizona, clearly the favorite here tonight, a 7.5-point favorite on the road is tough to do. But, you know, players have to stay healthy. Players have to make tackles. And Minnesota's showing up to play for something. They're not your average 3-7 team. In fact, Ramos, all 7 lost teams that don't play in the Central Division were just eliminated earlier tonight when Las Vegas beat Indianapolis. So if Minnesota was in any other division, they'd be Dunskies. But this is a team that, I mean, they're playing for not just a playoff spot, but for a division title still as well. A lot on the line tonight.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, just to think of it, you know, for example, Minnesota is only about half a game up on Mexico City, for example, because the Aztecs won the head-to-head, but Minnesota is with a chance of going to the playoffs. This is going to be a fumble on the kickoff return. Very lucky as Mr. Dwyer gets the fumble recovery. Very uncharacteristic start of the game here for the Scorpions, Cam.
And Northwood Stadium, while they have not enjoyed a lot of home team success this season, Northwood Stadium is known as a pretty loud, raucous place to play. Arizona's feeling it right now so far. That was Juan, Mississippi, I think, on the knockout on special teams.
5 wideouts off the gate here for Ashley Jackson and company. Dime defense And looks like man-to-man, one of the linebackers lined up against DJ Moses. Look out for those matchups. Jackson to throw. Jackson with pressure and almost throws an interception. The blitz off the blind side of Jackson could have been disastrous here for the Scorpions.
Knocked away out of the slot. And, you know, one of the best things about Minnesota's first drive is that DJ Moses was on the bench. Not only would I want him on the bench, I'd want him out of the stadium. I don't want to see him get a single carry in his football game if I'm Minnesota's defense after what he did last week.
Absolutely, from the eye. Ashley Jackson will throw again. The blitz coming, and the pass is caught. And here we go. Donnie Hands has open room ahead of him. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. That was zero coverage, Cam, and the veteran quarterback and the veteran receiver just make them pay.
Man to man, you are responsible for your man. That's why they call it man to man. And this time just totally beaten off the line. Donnie Hands, what a play. Matched up against Derek Meerkat in one-on-one coverage. And just from the get-go, Ramos got the better of Meerkat in the slot. And Arizona quickly ties the game.
Yeah, and I had a chance to coach Derek Meerkat a few seasons ago. Good cover safety, good cover man, but Donnie Hands gets the best of him. And that's not only man coverage, Cam, that was zero coverage. I mean, when you look at Derek Meerkat, that's a safety. So when you have a safety lined up as a wide receiver, you know it's zero coverage. That means no, deep coverage behind him in the zone. If one of your guys gets beat, that's game. 7-7, Arizona and Minnesota. So Minnesota just moves the ball methodically down the field, right? Tons of plays, in Arizona with their explosiveness, just 3 plays, touchdown. There's a return here by Quagman, past the 20, past the 25, and to the 30-yard line. So we're going to see the Minnesota offense try again.
Well, here's the positive, Ramos. DJ Moses hasn't touched the ball tonight, so Minnesota's got to feel pretty good about that. The negative is that it's a tie game still. Arizona proving that they can get it done in the passing game as well. And if this is the type of game we're going to have tonight, that Arizona defense could get very tired out there, especially without Sean Moore. They do not have a backup inside linebacker, so they're going to be a little light in the middle.
Yeah, for sure.
Is Moore back out there? Yeah, he's back out there.
Yes, he is. He's blitzing. Reno with the pass, incomplete. Great coverage right there. I think that was Parker Thomas on the outside, one of the best covered corners to me in the SFL, and has been for many seasons. But, going back to the DJ Moses hasn't touched the ball, that's when you know you have a very talented football team, Cam. Maybe your best player on offense has not even touched the ball, and you can still put the ball in the end zone in a couple plays. 2nd down and 10, near formation here. Reno with the drop back, the pass, middle. The pass is going to be intercepted by Sean Moore, coming back from the injury, and that's the importance of a guy like Sean Moore at the middle of the defense. What a huge turnover here for the Scorpions.
Ramos, Arizona's playing 3D chess right now. I don't think Sean Moore was ever hurt. I think that he left the game to give Minnesota a false sense of security, and now he's come back, blitzed on 1st down, gotten an interception on 2nd down, and just like that, Arizona sucked the air out of this building. Wow, what a play by the linebacker.
Unbelievable, and that's exactly why you don't want to give this Arizona offense is that short field. With the ball at the 31 of Minnesota side of the field, we see a toss. That's DJ Moses. Look out. They contain him well. It's only going to be a gain of 2 yards. Let's introduce you to the Arizona offense now. Ashley Jackson is the quarterback. The backs are DJ Moses II and Justin Williams. The wide receivers are Donnie Hands, James Hands, TJ Punk, and Ryan Orlovsky. And the tight ends are Will Todd and Thomas Leclerc. Donnie Hands already with a catch, 74 yards in the score. 11 personnel this time. Ashley Jackson will throw. Jackson goes deep, and the pass is caught. A laser, a frozen rope to Will Todd for a first.
Nicely done there by Jackson. Will Todd was a big part of this game plan last week. Had a handful of catches as they got the passing game going just a little bit more. I know DJ Moses stole the show, but Jackson so far hitting a couple different targets.
And this is the area of the field where Justin Williams has been really good so far this season. A lot of touchdowns inside the 10-yard line this year. You see him on the field offset to the left. As Ashley Jackson changes the play at the line. Jackson hands the ball off to DJ Moses, and Moses will get about 3 on the play. 2nd and goal coming up.
So far, so good for this Legend defense against DJ Moses. They really do have a talented defensive line. In fact, they have the most depth on their defensive line in the league. 6 contracted players led by Max Knight and Buster Johnson in the trenches.
Ashley Jackson split backs formation. Heavy set. Will throw. Jackson to throw to the end zone, and the pass is deflected and intercepted back past the 10-yard line, being returned by the linebacker past the 30, past the 25 to the 29. So Minnesota that defense keeping the offense in the game. Miles Gibson with the INT.
Wow, this is shaping up to be a good one, Ramos, because that is a very difficult play for a linebacker to make, having to reach far side of the field. It's already tough enough to cover as a linebacker, but to get out there outside the hash marks and make a play like that, huge for this Legend defense. And I know there's a lot of people watching games around the league. Game breaks are usually happening, but I'm stepping in for Brett, who's without power. Houston drove down the field, scored on their first possession. Tulsa's in the red zone on their first possession, 7-0 Headhunters.
Reno to throw. Reno middle. The pass picked off. Intercepted back. That's going to be Iverson Gamble with the INT, and just quarterback's just giving the ball away like it's nothing.
What's the hurry if you're Johnny Reno? That was terrific, tight coverage by Everett Garrison, and because it was within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, you're allowed to check receivers like that. Everett Garrison, extremely physical, coming off a 3-interception game last week against the Nightwings. Gamble may have picked that pass off, but Everett Garrison made that play.
11 personnel for Arizona. Are we going to see another pass? Jackson, no, she will hand it off to DJ Moses. Smart choice. Derek Meerkat gets the tackle. If you're new to the Simulation Football League, welcome. The SFL is football for everyone. Get off the sideline and start your player today by joining our Discord server at simulationfl.net. Click the Join the Community button and begin your career, or just to meet the stars of the SFL on and off the field. It's never too late to get involved. I formation, power set, 22 personnel this time, 2 backs and 2 tight ends. DJ Moses gets the ball off the left-hand side and a solid tackle by number 34. That's going to be Daniel Wright. Let's introduce you to the rest of the defense. Angela Meerkat and Mark Mello, the former Scorpion in the defensive ends with Axel Raven. Buster Johnson and Max Knight, another former Scorpion, the defensive tackle with Brookie Burr. We'll continue with the rest of the defense after this play. Offset I formation for the Scorpions on 3rd and 2. 4-4 defense for the Legend as the fullback gets the handoff and Williams gets the first down. The rest of the linebacking core include Jason Blake, Miles Gibson, Stephen Black, and Juan Mississippi. The corners for the Legend are Cody Griffin, Johnny Bravo, Rick Evans, and Nicholas Faso. And the safeties are Daniel Wright and Derek Meerkat. And Cam, I'm liking the mix between runs and passes here for Arizona.
Yeah, they've been really balanced so far.
Ashley Jackson pass, touchdown! Will Todd is the second time we see that post route to Will Todd. Another laser by Ashley Jackson.
Will Todd, throw it to the tight end, right, Ramos? You know it well.
Yes,
he's been active the past couple of weeks, and this time he blows right past a linebacker, and Meerkat's like, come on, dude, you got to get like a finger on him or something. That's a tough assignment for Meerkat in the back, especially when Todd's just running a seam route right up the field. And boy, Arizona has calmed down and settled into this football game quite nicely after a really strong start for Minnesota.
Extra point is up and good, 14-7. Yeah, I first thought it was a post route. It's just a seam route, and he split that cover 2 defense. Derek Meerkat on the outside of the hash, and good recognition and good understanding of leverage by Will Todd. The veteran tight end gets in the end zone, 14-7. That's the second touchdown by Ashley Jackson and only 3 completions so far in the game. This return by Quagman will come out of the end zone past the 25 with a spin move past the 30. This is a good return to the 32-yard line. And Cam, I think Johnny Reno just has to take a step back, relax, and just give the ball to Colin Hart at least a couple times.
Yeah, Hart's been good today, and honestly, when Hart has not forced the issue, he's hit 3 different receivers on passes as well. So, you know, Johnny Reno's not off to a terrible start. Hart's averaging 6 yards a carry. I think Minnesota was pretty juiced up for this game. They really liked the way they started, and then they started to get maybe a little carried away with themselves, need to settle back down.
Split backs formation, that's going to be 3 wide receivers on the field. These are Powell in motion from right to left. As Reno will throw. Reno to the outside. That's going to be a screen pass. Well set up by Colin Hart, but a better job by the linebacker making the tackle. I like the motion, Cam, from right to left, giving that extra blocking on the screen, but a good recognition by Arizona.
Yeah, but if you're Minnesota, you just want to stay ahead of the sticks there. You got 4 yards out of it. You definitely don't want to get into 3rd and long on this talented secondary.
Offset I formation for the legend. In motion now goes Vin Calia, and the fullback is tilted to that position. Maybe an outside run to the right will be a decent idea. We're going to get the opposite. It's going to be to the middle, actually, and Colin Hart will get a gain of about 4 yards. I was mentioning those eyes of, the Sasquatch actually looks like the Spider-Man mask.
Someone else said Venom in the chat, which I'm not as familiar with the Venom franchise. But when you look at the end zone, right, you can see you can see where they're getting it from. And if I was Arizona's defensive line, I wouldn't want to be staring into those things all night.
I agree. I agree with that. 3rd down and 3, 12 personnel. Single back is Colin Hart. 4-3 defense for Arizona. Reno back to throw. Reno passes middle. The pass is caught. That's a beautiful pass by Johnny Reno, his best play of the first quarter.
Jason France, probably one of the more underutilized players in terms of just size and value and just what he can bring to an organization. Minnesota's passing game's been pretty inconsistent over the past month and a half, but I mean he's going to be a valuable target tonight against this linebacking core. Not the best matchup for Jason France, but if they can get creative and put him in different unique situations, he's gonna be a mismatch against this Scorpion D.
On the split backs formation, is Colin Hart getting the handoff. Sean Moore cannot bring him down, but the rest of the defense rallies to him. 2nd down and 7 yards to go. A first quarter that has lasted actually quite a long time, Cam. We've seen a little bit of everything. A deep throw. We've seen a really good touchdown run by Colin Hart. 3 interceptions. It's been a little bit of everything so far. Power play here. Colin Hart breaks another tackle. Colin Hart is off to the races, and he gets to the 31-yard line. Another 1st down for the legend.
This is good news for Minnesota, too. One of the more underrated things or underrated storylines during Minnesota's slump here is how teams have been able to defend Colin Hart. His yards per game have really kind of dipped. He's fallen even out of the top 5 in rushing yards per game. And tonight, Minnesota looks like they have tweaked their running game just a bit, still at 6 yards a carry here in the early going.
Shotgun formation for the first time by either team today. Jay Taylor in motion. Reno to throw. Reno passes quickly. I like that pass to Jason France for 3 yards. Not a lot of gain, but it's a quick throw, gets you ahead of the sticks, and that's going to be the end of the first quarter. Arizona leads 14-7, but Minnesota is driving. You're watching the Simulation Football League, presented by 8 p.m. Music, right here on YouTube. For all the league highlights, photo galleries, major and minor league stats and leaderboards, community content, and so much more, check out the league's website at simulationfl.net, presented by Football Shift. Stay up to date and explore our past, present, and future. 2nd down, 7 yards to go. Offset I formation for the legend. Reno will hand the ball off to Colin Hart. Good blocking on the right-hand side. Good for a gain of about 3 yards. 3rd and 4 coming up.
The playbook's wide open, Ramos, for Minnesota. They've got 9 passes, 12 runs. There's a look at Hart's up-to-date numbers, 3rd and 4. You can really do anything here. Stack box, though, 8 in the box.
Draw play. That's going to be Colin Hart, and he's not going to be getting to the first down marker. 4th and inches, though. Normally when you run the ball on 3rd down, it's because you're willing to go for it on 4th, but I'm not sure if that's going to be the case here early in the 2nd quarter. It looks like they're going to trot out the field goal unit. We've seen fake field goals before this season by other teams. Doesn't look like this is going to happen this time with Mickey Melillo, one of the better kickers of the Simulation Football League. 14-10 Minnesota after that field goal. Another long drive for the legend.
Yeah, I think that's going to be key tonight, Ramos, to not allow Arizona to dump. How do you dump 65 on someone if you're never on the field, right? And
right.
Minnesota, to keep this game close, to keep Arizona from having as many opportunities to break this game open, is going to need those long drives, and that's okay to take the 3 there. Nice kick there from Mickey on the kickoff too. But going back to that 3rd down play, David Tilley was the one that pushed the offensive lineman back into Colin Hart, and without Tilley doing that, Eddie Gage would not have been able to catch Hart before he got to the first down. Nice play there by the defensive tackle.
Arizona has only had 8 plays offensively in this game, yet they lead 14-10. Bunch formation top of your screen. Ashley Jackson will throw. Jackson with time all day to throw. Ashley Jackson incomplete. What a great stick by Daniel Wright.
And that's what you have to do against a guy like DJ Moses coming off of a banner game. 8 touchdowns, right? He has none tonight. And those kind of hits signal to a guy like DJ Moses it's not going to be like it was last week.
11 personnel this time, offset. Running back is DJ Moses to the right side. Donnie Hands in motion from right to left. Zone coverage here, presumably by the Minnesota defense. Jackson to throw. Jackson passes to the outside. The pass is going to be caught again. Will Todd for a first down.
I like what Arizona did here. It's not a seam route for Todd. They're mixing up the way that he's getting involved. He's going across the field into the soft portion of the zone, past the linebacker, and then Meerkat cleans it up. But Will Todd getting used in a variety of ways in this offense so far, 47 yards on 3 catches.
First down and 10 for Arizona. Offset fullback is Justin Williams. Nickel defense here for the Minnesota legend. Handoff goes to DJ Moses, and Moses unable to get much. Just a gain of a couple yards. Derek Meerkat, who's been very, very active so far in this game, with another tackle.
Meerkat's 3rd. He's the only player on this team right now credited with more than 1 solo tackle. He has definitely been the cleanup man tonight.
4-4 defense. I mean, the focus is to stop DJ Moses at all costs as Justin Williams goes in motion. Handoff goes to Moses, and Moses gets met at the line. Just a gain of about a couple yards. 3rd and 5 coming up.
And I think that's why we probably saw Ashley Jackson come out and start throwing early in this ball game. Arizona knows that Minnesota's not your average 3-7 football team. They've got a great coaching staff, and Arizona came prepared.
11 personnel again. We saw the crossing route from Will Todd last time, and Ashley Jackson is going to scramble this time for a first down. That's exactly what you want out of your quarterback. You know, you don't need your quarterback to run for 200 yards. Just get those crucial first downs on 3rd.
And what's most important there, Ramos, is that she wasn't indecisive. You know, when it's 3rd and short like that, you want your quarterback to make a decision and go, and Minnesota's defense just didn't have time to react.
Ashley Jackson looking more like Lamar Jackson on that one. Yeah. First down and 10.
It's in the name.
Yes, sir. Then the number is also kind of similar, 9, 8.
Michael Jackson, they all got it.
Yes, absolutely. Tossed to DJ Moses, and he has a lane past the 40, past the 35, past the 30, And DJ Moses finally out of bounds at about the 27-yard line. Again, more motion for Arizona, Cam. Just beautiful scheming from the coaching staff of the Scorpions.
Yeah, and Meerkats frustrated because the defense lost containment thanks to the blocking on the outside by TJ Punk and James Hands. And while they don't have a catch yet tonight, they spring Moses for his longest run of the night, 25 yards.
DJ Moses now, his numbers were before that play were looking not too great, but now 7 carries, 47 yards. An empty set here for the Scorpions. Haven't seen that since the very first play of the Arizona first drive. Man in motion to the right. And Ashley Jackson will throw.
Whoa.
Jackson again scrambles. 5 yards, 7 yards. Another good run by Ashley Jackson. She takes a hit, but 2nd and 3 coming up.
It almost looks like a setup draw, the way that she is taking on, and she's finding a lot of success. And look, when you're facing a great defensive line who wants to get after the quarterback and get in the backfield, it's a great play call.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a handoff to Justin Williams, who will pick up a first down. And the thing with the previous play, Cam, is when you have man-to-man coverage, the DBs turn their back against the quarterback. So if there's no containment up the middle, basically Ashley Jackson has 10, 15 yards to run, just with nobody there. So great recognition, great play calling by the Scorpions. Draw play this time is going to go to DJ Moses, and he's going to get 5.
And now because of that, you get Minnesota dropping back in coverage. You get a soft box, and then it's just hat on a hat or mask on a mask, I guess, with Minnesota's helmets. But yeah, Moses gets an easy 5 yards there.
2nd down, 5 yards to go. 4-3 defense here for Minnesota from the I formation. Yet more motion now. We see a twins set top of your screen. Jackson will throw. Jackson passes to the end zone, and it's caught for a touchdown. How? Justin Williams, he's been the man. When we talk about inside the 10-yard line, Justin Williams has gotten seemingly all the touchdowns.
Coming out of the backfield here on a man, that one Mississippi is there the whole time. And Ashley Jackson says, I trust my guy to make the play. I can almost guarantee you, we're not down on the field right now, but I can guarantee you when one Mississippi realized that he just tackled Justin Williams in the end zone and he had the football, Juan must have been thinking, how did that get there?
Yeah, I mean, you can expect that from a guy like Will Todd, who's a tight end, but from the fullback, it's rare. That is rare. Are you liking the game so far? Smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The SFL produces over 400 events a year. There's no one else that gives you more football. Don't miss a minute of SFL or SFLM action and help the channel grow through your support. This is going to be another return by Taylor this time. And Taylor will take it to the 27-yard line. I think very important for the rest of the game, Cam. Minnesota has to score points on this drive. Even a field goal. Just try to keep pace with the Scorpion offense.
Yeah. I'm surprised at how impressed I am with Minnesota's offense, or Arizona's offense, rather, considering they just scored 65. But Minnesota's defense was off to a strong start. But, man, Arizona, they have gotten hot at the right time.
Colin Hard, speaking about getting hot, Colin Hard gets about 14 yards on the play. I think what's impressing me as well, last time Arizona did it by 8 touchdowns from the running back, right? So sometimes you may think, that's kind of a fluky thing, right? The running back, I mean, 8 touchdowns is nothing to sneeze at, but it's like, okay, you're not going to get another game with 8 touchdowns. Do you have, a second year? Do you have another, thing to your offense? And Ashley Jackson has responded with 3 passing touchdowns here in the first half. And I think that's why it's so impressive. Reno to throw, Reno middle, the pass incomplete, dangerous throw, J.R. Lawless. Very close from the action, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, to come into a game after rushing for 8 touchdowns to throw 3 passing touchdowns in the next half is a signal to the league that on any given week we're going to score, and we don't care how it gets done.
Reno to throw, middle, the pass incomplete again. Good coverage by Sean Moore, and I think Johnny Arena's starting to press a little bit. We've seen a couple of overthrow balls, back-to-back plays. 3rd down and 10 yards to go. Not the position where you want to be in if you're a Legend supporter. 5 wide receiver set. Man in motion, that's going to be Jay Taylor. Now 4 receivers on one side of the field. Reno to throw. Reno with time. Reno passes, and the pass is going to be incomplete. Just outstanding coverage by Eric Garrison, knocking that football away, and it's 4th and 10.
Ramos, you know this is a defensive guy, but probably the most underrated players in the league are, well, it's offensive linemen and it's cornerbacks. It doesn't show up in the box score what they do, but Everett Garrison, I mean, if you can't throw to his side of the field, it totally changes a gameplay.
Yeah, and it's been that way for years. As we see the return from Arizona get to the 19-yard line. I mean, it's been that way for years. Overall, with Arizona's secondary, I mean, you have Garrison, you have Parker Thomas, you have Eddie Gage. I mean, you have literally the best strong safety to ever play the game in your lineup. IG is no bum. I mean, he already has an interception, right? So this defensive backfield has been stacked for many seasons and is one of the reasons why Arizona has reached the championship game in back-to-back years, as DJ Moses gets stuffed for a 1-yard loss.
Man, that's the best I've seen the drop play maybe defended all season. Angela Meerkat and Max Knight involved, but Meerkat especially, almost like a read option, Ramos, stopped and waited and did not allow Moses to run past her.
Ashley Jackson gets that yardage back and then some. With the pass to Will Todd, 3rd down and 1 coming up. I think, Ashley Jackson has been terrific in this game and so far has been the best player on the field for Arizona offensively. But, man, Will Todd has been clutch time and time again. Just getting Arizona out of tough situations, already has a touchdown. On the split backs, we're going to give the ball to Justin Williams, who easily picks up the 1st down.
A Mike St. Green touchdown reception on just a little out route, turns the corner and scores, puts Houston up 14-3. If Tulsa loses, they'd be 4-7. Indy's 4-7. Even if Minnesota loses and falls to 3-8, they still have a path. If all teams in the Central finish 4-8, Minnesota would win on division record.
That's incredible as DJ Moses gets another draw. And another solid defensive effort here for Minnesota, just a 2-yard pickup. And, yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, DJ Moses, has good yards per carry so far in this game. He's up to, 5 and change. But, most of it is on that toss play. Other than that, Minnesota has done a really good job on containing DJ Moses. The problem is that Ashley Jackson has completely gone off. 4-3 defense for Minnesota. Handoff goes to Moses. Moses breaks a tackle. Watch out. DJ Moses breaks another tackle and has a 1st down. And finally pushed out of bounds after a gain of 10.
You'll appreciate this as a SFL historian, Ramos. Moses, number 1 in the league right now in yards per game on the ground. But Moses is still on pace to be 200 yards less than the all-time single-season rushing holder, Jaye Inyola, the old Jacksonville running back. He had nearly 2,400 rushing yards that season.
I remember that season. I mean, it was because we had, I think we still had 12 games, right? Back then.
Yep.
He had like 200 yards every game. It was a wild time back then to stop Jaye Inyola. As wow, what a throw! What a throw! That one goes to, I think, is James Hands. First catch of the game for James Hands.
Yeah, this passing offense at times this season has struggled to get, a ton of receivers involved. It may be Will Todd's night, it may be James Hands' night or TJ Punk, but getting the balance out of this passing game has been a struggle. They're doing a decent job so far tonight.
21-10 Arizona over Minnesota. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by 8 p.m. Music right here on YouTube. The Arizona Scorpions continue on offense. High formation with a heavy set this time. Handoff goes to DJ Moses, and he will be shy of the first down. Just a 1-yard pickup on the tackle is Miles Gibson, who's had a heck of a first half. I mean, 8 solo tackles, 1 interception as well.
3rd and 1. This is big. Minnesota's D-line got to make a stop. Look at everybody in the box. This is big boy football out here.
Yeah, the linebackers are a little bit too back, though. Look out for Justin Williams. Yes, sir. Justin Williams gets the handoff and about a 3-yard gain, enough for a first down. Good situational football here for Arizona. You know, sometimes it's not even the flashy plays. It's just those, you know, opportune conversions on 3rd and short that make all the difference in a ball game.
If Minnesota can hold Arizona to a field goal before the half, they're right in this thing. That's their objective right now.
Handoff goes to Justin Williams. A little bit of a misdirection as one of the guys was doing a fake reverse. And that's good enough for about 5. Arizona calls their first time out of the first half. 17 rushing attempts so far for Arizona compared to 10 passes. 11 personnel this time, though. Are we going to see another seam pass here to Will Todd?
There he goes.
Jackson to throw. Well, the seam goes to the other receiver. That's Donnie Hands. Same concept, but a different receiver. First down, and Arizona will call their second timeout.
Oh, Minnesota's getting nervous now. 1:04 left. Plenty of time for Arizona. Donnie Hands eating tonight.
2 catches, 84 yards so far in this game. Offside single back is DJ Moses. To throw is Ashley Jackson. Ashley Jackson, that seam route to Will Todd for a 1st and goal.
Man, Arizona's just cooking right now. You know, Ramos, when you find your identity, which I think Mexico City has done a little bit over the last month as well, when you find your identity, you feel so much more comfortable with yourself. And right now, Arizona just looks really comfortable. Minnesota not doing much to do the opposite.
11 personnel. Donnie Hands goes in motion again from left to right. I'll just give the ball to DJ Moses here. You still have a timeout. Jackson will go to not the end zone, shy of the goal line at the 1, and they will go in the no huddle. Unless you're going to run it here, I don't agree with this decision, Cam.
Got to be careful.
Jackson to throw to the end zone, and the pass is incomplete. Where's the PI?
Wow.
Wow. Wow, is right. Let's take
see
a look
it
at this
again.
replay. Yep.
Oh, you know what, Ramos? I think the refs saw the push off from Hands.
Yeah.
And they said, you know what? It's even. It's just even. That was a physical play by both those guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Tough call.
Was it within 5 yards too? May have.
Yeah. 3rd and goal. Let's see if DJ Moses gets the ball. We know he can go, up the line, just hurdle over the line and get the touchdown. Let's see if Justin Williams gets another touchdown inside the 5.
Manned up.
Jackson to throw, middle the pass, touchdown. TJ Punk's first catch of the game gets in the end zone.
Imagine if they would have tossed it outside. It would have gotten totally blown up. Instead, Jackson finds an in-breaking TJ Punk, and Johnny Bravo just missed. I think Bravo got caught trying to figure out who he was going to cover, if he was going to cover the flats or cover Punk. By the time he made a decision, the ball was out of Jackson's hands. 4 passing touchdowns in the first half after 8 rushing touchdowns last week. That's got to be a first in SFL history.
I mean, she's on pace for 8 passing touchdowns. Like, how crazy would that be? I don't think it's going to necessarily happen, but that just the idea of it is completely wild. And going back to that touchdown, I like the concept because you're flushing everybody to the left and you're just leaving backside one-on-one. TJ Punk is a former tight end, leaving him against a DB. Just a physical mismatch. And Ashley Jackson continues to be on fire tonight. 11 of 15, 4 touchdowns for the quarterback. As Taylor makes a good move and gets it to the 33-yard line. 39 seconds left. Do you stay aggressive?
I think if I'm Minnesota, because Johnny Reno's had a couple of those interceptions, I think I give it to Colin Hart and see what I get out of this first down play. If he can break one, then a field goal makes it a 2-score game. So I'd like to see Hart break one here. You call a timeout, and then see what Johnny Reno can do to get you 3 points before the half.
High formation here for Minnesota. 4-4 defense here for Arizona. I'd like to see a deep throw here. I mean, it's single safety over the top. Reno to throw. Reno checks it down, but a good space by Jason France. Has a first down and about 20 yards. Jason France is not out of bounds yet. Gets all the way to the 36-yard line, and Minnesota calls a timeout. This maybe looked by the booth, Cam.
I mean, he tricked. Look, I think he was in bounds. He tricked me. I thought he was going to go out of bounds, and then he kind of rope-a-doped Arizona's defense into thinking that on the sideline. Let's take a look.
Let's take a look. Let's take a retroactive look at the play presented by Retroid. Get your SFL console at goretroid.com, and I'm just going to leave it to you,
he
Cam.
did step out.
Oh, yeah, he did.
At the 49. Now, the good news for Minnesota is they don't have to burn a timeout, and they stop the clock, and now they have a shot at points here.
That's why we have instant replay. I mean, on first glance, I would have agreed with your assessment, right? It did look close, but it was like, yeah, I think he stayed in bounds. And with instant replay, we clearly see that was completely out of bounds. Either way, Minnesota with the ball at midfield is in a good position. Stepping out of bounds stops the clock with 31 seconds left.
How about this? In the other game, Houston's Josh Slapp, 9 carries, 85 yards. GP Wells, 9 carries, 79 yards. And Houston's up 21-3.
Colin Hart gets the pass. I don't see the point of that play. You have to call another timeout. It's only 3 yards, and that just wastes about 7 seconds off the clock.
Yeah, and Colin Hart took his sweet time trying to figure out what he wanted to do. I thought there for a minute he was going to just try and get to the sideline, then try to make something happen. Now, 1 timeout left in your pocket. Ramos, you don't want to get caught in no man's land just before the half without that timeout, so something to the sideline here.
It's I formation heavy set. A run goes to Colin Hart. He gets about 5 on the play. Minnesota calls their last timeout, but then they don't have anything with about 20 seconds left in the first half.
All right, well, this is it, Ramos. They gotta get something quick to give Melillo an opportunity. They got to get out of bounds first off. But if they don't get out of bounds, they got to get something quick into field goal range so that Mickey Melillo has enough time to get on the field and kick the field goal.
Reno to throw. Reno passes to the outside. Incomplete. Deflected away as J.R. Lawless makes a play on the ball. The pass intended to Jason France. 4th and 1. This situation with 15 seconds, I'm going for it, Cam.
Yeah, you got nothing to lose. The problem for Minnesota now is they're out of timeouts. They're not going to have enough time to get a field goal unit on, even I don't know. Let's see what they do.
Reno to throw the pass deep. The pass is caught. 24 seconds left.
They're out of time.
And they are not going to have enough time to hurdle back to the line.
But that actually was a pretty great play call, Ramos, because if Vin Callia breaks that tackle, that's a touchdown. And I like what Minnesota did there. They were in no man's land. Melillo runs out of time there. They were in no man's land, and they gave themselves a shot at a touchdown by coming out in kind of a heavy formation and catching Arizona off guard. That is just unlucky there from Minnesota. They almost had it. Great tackle by Parker Thomas. That saved 7 points. Yeah,
that saved 7 points, and wow, what It would have been, let's say he scores a touchdown, extra point. It's still an 11-point game, but just psychologically even. That's so uplifting here for Arizona as we take a look at the best plays of the first half. What has caught your attention?
Ashley Jackson. I mean, when you look at Johnny Reno, 9 of 16 for 90 yards on the other side, and then Ashley Jackson, 11 for 16 for 11 for 15, 181, 4 touchdowns. There's the official numbers, a QBR of 125. Who do you stop on this Arizona offense? And look, their defense is just as good. This is a championship contender right now. Minnesota's still in this thing, but they're going to have to come up with some kind of major momentum shift in the second half to give themselves a fighting chance.
Yeah, Ashley Jackson for me, but also the fact that every playmaker that they have, and by playmaker I mean like their starting lineup, right? Donnie Hands, James Hands, TJ Plunk, Will Todd, DJ Moses, Justin Williams, they've all made big plays in this game. Like even TJ Plunk, only one catch, right, for 1 yard, but that was a touchdown, right? So I love how Arizona has just spread the ball all over the field, and everybody's contributing as this return goes to the 33-yard line. Arizona gets the ball to start the second half. I'm Ramos Lynn. Alongside me in the booth is Mr. Cameron Irvine. Biggest shout-outs of the night go to Ron Haynes and Justin Reside in the stats truck. Just absolutely on point with the stats. Thank you, guys.
Bo Martin Jr. in the chat talking about that end-of-half sequence. There's no spike sequence that initiates a field goal at the end of the game or before the end of the first half. It's under review by the league right now, but the problem is that depending upon the time, depends on how long it takes to get the spike, and since we don't have all of that data, we can't necessarily interfere interfere with the end of half sequence there. So that's what you're seeing, but we'll see how that goes in the offseason.
DJ Moses gets that toss for a gain of 6 yards, 13 carries, 70 yards, and 30 yards after contact.
By the way, that's been happening in the SFL since season 1, so it's not a new thing.
There you go. Justin Williams gets the handoff that time and gets one more on the play. 3rd down. 5 coming up.
Ramos, Houston's letting their frustrations out on Tulsa tonight. It's kind of ridiculous. I mean, they have played out of their minds, 28-3 in a game between 2 and 4 and 6 teams. Tulsa had the chance to take control of the Central tonight, and they have not done so, and Will Todd is taking over this game.
Yeah, I mean, that's yet another unbelievable throw by Ashley Jackson. Will Todd has lived inside the hashes so far in this game. That's yet another post route or skinny post. Again, more cover 2 by Minnesota, and the veteran tight end able to split the middle of that coverage. 100 yards for Mr. Will Todd. That's about 50% of the yards that Ashley Jackson has in the game. Draw play this time goes to DJ Moses, and again, I mean, to their credit, Minnesota has stopped the draw pretty well. 2nd and 9 coming up.
And we've seen Will Todd on skinny posts, crossers, seam routes. Like they've really mixed it up with him. He did not have a 100-yard game all season long until last week when he had 120 yards. He's got another 100-yard game tonight.
Toss play, DJ Moses, and again, the defense of Minnesota does a really good job on the outside. That's Daniel Wright's 4th tackle of the game.
And credit to Arizona, right, Eddie Gage, Ramos. They probably looked at this matchup and said, look, DJ Moses, last week was your week, but this week, it's not your week. 73 carries, 15 yards. It's been Jackson's week, and it's worked.
Speaking about Jackson, she's going to scramble again, and Jackson this time will not get a first down, but will get in scoring position for a field goal. So good situational awareness here by Ashley Jackson, putting the ball at the 31-yard line. It's going to be a punt, actually.
The wind's got to be in their face.
Yeah, and you're leading by 18 points, so no chance to take risks unless you're going to fake it here. Probably pretty sick. They don't.
Great stop by Minnesota.
And this is a shank by the punter. Ball only travels to about the 14-yard line. Not a good punt.
I think they may even mark it at the 18. Where are they going to put that? 19-yard line. Yeah, so Minnesota gets a full stop to start the second half. That's a big deal. And look, this is still a good ball game. Colin Hart is averaging 6 yards a carry. Reno's hit 5 different players with the receptions. Minnesota's still in this. Just got to put a drive together.
Nickel defense here for Arizona. Handoff goes to Colin Hart. Watch out, Colin Hart tries to break a tackle, will not. Gain of 6 yards. And your football Sunday with a block of SFL action on SFL YouTube starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. First and 9, the 5-5 DC Dragons welcome the 7-4 Canton Classics. And at 9:15, the Mexico City Aztecs transform into the Santa Fe Gorillas on throwback night against the Seattle Nemesis. It's all tomorrow night on SFL YouTube. This is going to be a handoff to Colin Hart for no gain. 3rd and 4 coming up. And, you know, I'm looking forward to see, you know, the Santa Fe Gorillas, you know, branding back into the SFL for tomorrow, Cam. I'm pretty, you know, looking forward to that.
Yeah, I love the little 12 at midfield too with the old Gorillas logos. And Ramos, what I'm most looking forward to is just educating some of SFL Nation on the history as Colin Hart gets a first. Oh, they're going to challenge that for sure. But
yeah,
you know, there's about probably 85% of this community that doesn't even know who the Santa Fe Gorillas were or what they look like. I can't wait for them to. You know, to see some old school Mexico City Aztecs heritage out there. It's always a good time. And look, we've never seen the actual Santa Fe Gorillas out there. And so to see it for the first time in 4K23 against Seattle and their breast cancer awareness stuff, it's going to be great.
Let's take a retroactive look at the play presented by Retroid. Get your SFL console at goretroid.com. That's the first thing.
His whole body is over. That is one of the biggest ball spotting gaffes we've seen this season. I mean, that's bad.
Ruling of the field is rightfully overturned.
Got it right.
I mean, yeah.
It gave us time to talk about the Gorillas. It's fine.
Yeah. Probably Mr. Gage was sliding some money under the table or something, but I mean, when it's the whole body and the whole football, I mean, you're not gonna get away with that. 1st and 10 for Minnesota. And Jason France now in the backfield. Let's see if we see a little bit of trickery or if Jason France goes out of the backfield for a pass or something. You know, you've spoken of how underutilized he's been, and he's just going to be used as a blocking fullback. He does a good job, though. Gain of 6.
Yeah, I like what they've done with him tonight. You know, they've really mixed it up with him, and I know they're down by 18, Ramos, but Minnesota looks pretty good in this game offensively. We'll see what happens with the rest of this drive here, but I like what they've done tonight.
2nd down and 4, 2 tight ends on the right side. Handoff goes to Hart again. Hart breaks a tackle, gets a first down before Eddie Gage puts him down. And you know, it's one of those situations where it's like, man, Minnesota has played really well, but Arizona is that talented of a football team. It's like back in the day watching the Tom Brady Patriots, and it's like, man, the other team played really well, and they still, you know, are trailing by 3 touchdowns. Like, how is that possible? But Minnesota, again, has played well. It's been balanced. Yet another run by Colin Hart, and the offensive line has played well. Another 4-yard gain.
And this is what Minnesota set out to do at the start of this ball game. We saw long drives from them, and right now they're bleeding this clock. They are keeping the game close. Minnesota, an 11-play drive on their opening drive, had an 8-play drive that got a field goal. The problem is all their other drives besides this one have been 5 plays or less.
Colin Hart gets bottled up at the line of scrimmage that time. No gain on the play. The Arizona linebackers converge. We'll say enough of that.
It's the 3rd time tonight, Ramos, that the defensive line for Arizona has won the line of scrimmage. And usually you may see a definitive win like that, maybe once or twice a game, but this D-line shouldn't be overlooked either.
Yeah, absolutely. Reno to throw. Reno passes to the outside. Can Colin Hart get to the sticks? He cannot. Parker Thomas with another crucial tackle in the open field. 4th and 1, and you have to go for it, I think.
Yeah, I think they're going to go for it. Sean Moore slowed them down long enough for the defense to get there. Love this call from Minnesota. 4th and 1. The drive, let it continue. They've got the momentum. 9th play.
4th and 1. I formation. Heavy set. Colin Hart will get the ball off tackle. Colin Hart, first down. Oh, man. Staying patient, following his blockers, gets the first.
Wow. Man, breathe a sigh of relief, Minnesota.
and gutsy call, because when you play a defensive line of the caliber of Arizona, it's hard to run the ball to the outside. They're just too quick. The lateral quickness is just too much sometimes. This pass falls incomplete as IG makes the pass deflection. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Deezer Powell's been pretty quiet tonight, but that's not for a lack of trying. His 6th target, just 1 catch. That is all Everett Garrison and his friends.
2nd down, 10 yards to go. Split backs formation. Man in motion. It's a fullback. Reno, roll out for the first time tonight. The pass goes to Jason Franz, and Jason Franz breaks a tackle, and Jason Franz rolls over Everett Garrison for a first down. They're never satisfied. Ramos loves Parker Thomas. Yes, I do, actually. I love good defense. I love good players, and he's a good player.
Look at France compared to Lawless. I mean, Lawless is a pretty decent-sized dude, yeah. And France just towers over him like Shaq did with the rest of his high school class. I mean, that was crazy. What a find for Reno, and Jason France having himself a night now, 53 yards on 4 catches.
Yeah, because you're right. Like, J.R. Lawless, he's a linebacker. Like, he's got some pretty good size to him as Colin Hart gets about 4 yards. But it's like back in the day, I'm going to say it this way. It's like Yao Ming with Shaq. With Shaq.
Yeah.
Like, Shaq is a massive dude, and Yao Ming makes him look like a small guy.
Lawless, 6 foot 230, so a little bit undersized at linebacker, and France 6'7", 270.
Wow. As Colin Hart gets the ball again, runs to the left for a gain of about 3-4 yards. I mean, Colin Hart for so long has been one of the most reliable backs. I remember ever since his days with Sioux Falls. On the outside, he's been lethal for many, many seasons.
This is now the 14th play of the drive for Minnesota. This is exactly what they needed in the 3rd quarter to give themselves a shot. Big 3rd down.
It's going to be a toss. It's going to be to the backup halfback, and he's going to get the first. Williams goes to the 11. So, wow, what a call.
Holy Minnesota's pulling out all the stops. Look at the blocking on the outside. Perfection. Chef's kiss. That was Dusty Wilson, the pulling guard. Pays to have great linemen.
Wow. That's a beautiful block right there by number 76. Big-time block. Going to be another handoff to Colin Hart. Hart gets past 10 to the 9-yard line. That was, the 16th play of the drive?
Yes, the 15th play. But still, I mean, they have essentially Arizona has scored no points in the 3rd quarter. They have evaporated the 3rd quarter. Now, if you end up with a field goal on this drive, it's going to feel like a huge defeat. You get a touchdown, we got a ball game in the 4th. Screen. Oh, what a play.
Passes it to Colin Hart. Colin Hart breaks a tackle, and good job by Eddie Gage in pursuit. Just a gain of 3. That looked like he had probably like 20 yards ahead of him and a touchdown in consequence.
Terrific play by Eddie Gage. I don't know how Reno was able to get that ball away. Thought surely it was going to get deflected. That may have been his best pass of the night.
3rd down and 4. Far formation here. Reno to throw. Reno passes. The pass is caught. Powell breaks a tackle to the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Man, talk about pulling teeth. Wow. That was crazy. Deezer Powell. That's why you go out and get him. Man, that was the drive of the free agent pickups. Deezer Powell breaks a tackle, able to turn around. You got Dusty Wilson, Deezer Powell, big free agent acquisitions from the offseason making plays for Minnesota. Even the backup running back getting involved. on a huge 3rd and 2. Minnesota, wow, in this, they couldn't have asked for better execution on that drive. 17 plays.
And that was zero coverage again, similar in its own way to the play that Arizona scored on their first drive of the game. It was also that kind of like a shallow cross, slant play, and Beezer Powell was able to beat the defender off the line.
Ron Haynes is the OG. Like Ron Haynes and Justin Reside. Our stat team is like the best team you could possibly have. They got that drive perfectly correct. 17 play, 81 yard, 6 minute, 11-second drive, and probably the most impressive thing, Ramos, is they got 49 yards on the ground, 32 through the air. They kept Arizona guessing. Now they got just a little bit of momentum here. Can Arizona respond?
Yeah, and for Minnesota, all they need is one big play defensively. That's all they need right now. Even like something like a sack is a big play defensively where, you know, you can force a punt. That's all you need at this point. Thanks for joining us, everybody, for Saturday Night Football. I'm Ramos Lane, and Cameron Irvine is alongside me in the booth. Bunch formation for the Scorpions. 3-2 defense for the Legend. Toss play, that's DJ Moses, and Moses again will get nothing on the ground.
Daniel Wright with the stop. Wright has 5 solo tackles, 2 assisted. Derek Meerkat, 6 tackles. Only Miles Gibson has more at the linebacker position.
Draw play, Moses goes nowhere. Again, maybe 1 yard on the play. Johnson on the tackle. You take out that 30-yard run, Cam, you're talking about, 16 runs for about 45 yards for
Nothing.
DJ. I mean,
it's all about matchups, Ramos. Nobody's overpowered in this
Sure.
league. It's just, you're either good enough to stop someone or not. And Minnesota's good enough.
Ashley Jackson passes to the outside, deflected away. Nicholas Foster, I mean, the newcomers, Cam. They have been unbelievable here for Minnesota in the third quarter.
That one felt a little forced, didn't it, Ramos? Trying to get their star player, a play to feel good about himself. And that was just well covered by Minnesota. Back-to-back stops here in the third quarter. This is a shocker right now.
On the return is going to be Quake Mam, and Quake Mam will get to the 24-yard line. Mam doesn't have any targets tonight, but has been pretty solid on special teams. And an Arizona defense, Cam, that has to be absolutely gassed after 18 plays, have to go right back on a 3-and-out.
Yeah, and it's kind of surprising that, although you can understand it, that Ashley Jackson didn't come out maybe throwing on first or second down, but Arizona had the lead. But, a little bit lost momentum there for that passing attack. It's been pretty good tonight.
From the I formation, Colin Hart gets the handoff, breaking all sorts of tackles, gets 4, and that's going to be the end of the third quarter. Don't go anywhere, folks. Arizona 28, Minnesota 17. You're watching the Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music, right here on YouTube.
The Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Back here in St. Paul, Minnesota, Ramos Lynn and Cameron Irvine, put your 4s, 86s, 68s, and 12s up in the chat, everybody. As we are headed to the fourth, Minnesota has the ball at the 28-yard line, trailing by 11, but over the last 10-plus minutes of the game, it's been all Legend. And goes to Colin Hart again, spin move, and pushing forward, J.R. Lawless. I'm sorry, in the second half, J.R. Lawless has gotten a little bit roughed up.
Another look at it. Hart, it doesn't feel like 28 carries, but I suppose it is. 141 yards, keeping the chains moving for this Legend offense that also has 21 passes. So you're talking about 49 plays to 40 plays for Arizona and counting as Minnesota tries to mount another long drive.
Gonna be Colin Hart again. This time gets 2. APM Music is on Rival Music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore the library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. Split backs formation on 2nd and 8. Roll out again. Reno with time. The pass to the outside is incomplete, but a PI, I think, Cam, on the play.
And if that was intended for France, wouldn't you grab him? he's gonna make the play anyway. That one on Nathaniel Diggs. Let's get another look at it.
Good man-to-man coverage, and I don't know about that.
He didn't even touch him. That's just terrible. And the sad thing is that was that Thomas that was in coverage there? Thomas made the play on France, and the refs just totally bailed him out. Well, it's all even now, right? Because Minnesota had the egregious bad call earlier, so yeah, all even. But that was some blindness there.
Yeah. Oh, Colin Hart gets the handoff for a gain of 7 yards. This offensive line for Minnesota, I've been very impressed with this offensive line for the Legend. 30 rushes, 150 yards for Colin Hart.
And look, that's where they're weakest. They don't have a lot of stars there. Dusty Wilson coming over from Charleston, but they do have Jay Hayden and Jason France, 2 big tight ends that can block.
Yeah, they're pretty much like smaller tackles as
Colin
Hart rolls forward and they give him the first down. We may see another challenge.
But it's J.R. Lawless again that is going to be being told by his coaching staff to hit the weight room after this game. Minnesota is, I can't believe I'm saying this, but they're out muscling Arizona in this second half, which I never thought was possible.
I formation for the Legend again. Colin Hart pushing forward for a gain of 5 yards. And I'm loving what Minnesota's doing. Now, what you have to be concerned a little bit about is the time. You know, it's working really well, but in process of doing so, you're kind of eating your, scarcest resource, which is time.
And remember, this is how Vegas beat Arizona earlier this season, just playing bully ball up front, 3 yards in a cloud of dust, or 10 yards in a cloud of dust with Jason France, as Justin Reside would say in the chat.
On the outside, that's going to be Colin Hart, and he gets bottled up at the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing there. 3rd down and 6 coming up. And this is going to be an important play. I mean, the worst thing that can happen is obviously a giveaway, but even a sack will be a really bad thing. You're in scoring position. A field goal makes it a 1-possession game. 3rd down and 6 from the split backs formation. Looks like man-to-man coverage here for Arizona. No, it's going to be zone. Vincalia in the slot. Watch out for that matchup. Reno to throw. Reno passes across the field. The pass is caught. Calia first down and more. Vincalia to the 14-yard line. Wow, and I said it pre-snap. I mean, there was nobody on 19.
More... I don't want to say trickery for Minnesota because you're right, but, I mean, they just run him clear across the field and no one goes with him. How do you leave Vincalia open? Minnesota mixing things up. It's crazy. I mean, you just don't know where it's going to come from next.
Split backs and twins, bottom of your screen, 4-3 defense. Another rollout. Reno passes to the end zone, incomplete. Eddie Gage with the deflection. Now available, free to download. You can play the SFL video game on the go on the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus, an emulator for 4K23 in the palm of your hand. Order your Retroid today at goretroid.com. Search SFL and download our mod at simulationfl.net/4K23. Retroid, the official console of the SFL. Offset eye formation. Jason France now will line up in the slot, and this is man-to-man coverage against none other than Eddie Gage. Look out. Reno to throw. Reno with pressure. The pass is caught. Deezer Powell, 5 yards. That's a good play by Johnny Reno, actually.
I was really worried, Ramos, because the last time we saw Reno trying to escape pressure and throwing off his back foot, falling away through that pick to Sean Moore. So, boy, Minnesota lives to fight another day. 3rd down and 5. The clock is getting tight here, Ramos. They need a big play.
Another rollout for Reno. Reno to the end zone. The pass incomplete as Jason Fran was double covered. I mean, when you have a 6'7" tight end, you at least got to double cover him, and Arizona does a sensational job at that. You have to kick the field goal now.
And France almost pulled it in. It was almost like a jump ball. Look at that, one-handed. He almost caught that. Like, that was really close, right at the goal line. He definitely had a shot at it. Minnesota can't feel great about this because now their defense has to get another stop where Arizona doesn't get any points, but at least they strung another long drive together. Now it's a one-score game with plenty of time left, but the pressure's on this defense that has worked so hard already tonight.
Mika Malillo makes it an 8-point game. It's a one-possession game anyway for the Minnesota Legend as the Scorpions need to string some plays together. I mean, Minnesota has ran about like 30 plays in this second half, and Arizona has ran like 3. So Minnesota's defense is well rested, and Arizona needs to at least be able to string some first downs together.
Arizona has 37 yards of offense in the second half.
There you go. Another booming kick by Mika Malillo. The ball will go at the 20-yard line.
I want to see Jackson right here, Ramos, on first. She's been dynamic, electric. Just let her go out. I know you're up, but it hasn't been Moses' night. Give the ball to AJ.
Yeah. Just give the ball to the player who's played the best tonight, and that's been Ashley Jackson. 1st and 10. Jackson will throw. Jackson middle. The pass is caught. Donnie Hans with a first down.
Man, just spectacular. Just spectacular. I mean, exactly what we requested in the booth, and Jackson delivers. I mean, that is just a zip down the field. Pure is the word for that. First down.
Yeah, and shout out to Donnie Hans as well. You know, the defender draped all over him. That's his 3rd catch of the game. Now bunch formation toss play goes to the running back. That's DJ Moses, and Moses rolls over the defender for a gain of 7 yards. 2nd and 3 coming up. Another week in the SFL wraps up with this week in the SFL, rewinding the tape on what's been an electrifying Week 13. Plus, Portland hosts Vancouver with playoff ramifications on the line for both teams. This week in the SFL at 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time, and the kickoff is at 8:15 p.m. Eastern on Monday night right here on SFL YouTube, as Justin Williams is going to be shy of the first down, 3rd and inches, and I think that's a good call. He was short in my opinion.
Yeah, and you probably give it to him again right here just to make sure you get the first, but Minnesota fighting tooth and nail. Even if they don't win this game, this has to make them feel pretty good about heading into the final week of the season.
Williams with the handoff easily picks up the first down. That has been money on 3rd and short all the time. It's almost their version of the Philly push or
the brotherly shove.
The brotherly shove, yeah. It's just automatic on those 3rd and short.
We got to come up with a name for the the Williams walk. I don't know. It just
something like that. 1st down and 10.
The problem for Minnesota's defense right now is they can't allow Arizona to get another 20 yards. They got to get a stop right now.
Correct. Donnie Hans in motion. Jackson under center, milking the clock wisely. Handoff goes to Justin Williams. Similar concept for a gain of a couple yards.
But look at what they're doing now, Ramos. They are getting the ball more to Williams as Moses has struggled. Now they're handing it to him even on first down. So you've seen a shift for Arizona in their 6-minute offense, trying to run out the clock. No Moses, more Williams, and it's working.
22 personnel, 2nd down and 8. 14 seconds left on the clock. DJ Moses gets the handoff off the left side. Good open field tackle. Cody Griffin, 2nd tackle of the game, 3rd and 3.
We missed too many tackles. Look, right there. Look, Cody Griffin. Come on, man. That was brilliant. That is great defense, and that is a well-coached team. 3rd and 3. Arizona's draining the clock. This feels like it's it right here, Ramos. They got to get a stop.
Yes, with the ball at the 41-yard line, this is not scoring position for Arizona. 3rd and 3, offset I formation. Jackson, 5 seconds left on the play clock. Jackson tosses it out. DJ Moses, and he will not get it. No, they ruled they got it. I think that has to be challenged.
Wow, you got to throw the challenge flag. Cody Griffin with another amazing play. The clock is running, though. If you're going to challenge, you got to challenge. I don't think they're going to challenge. Wow.
Do they even have more challenges? It seems that we've seen a lot of reviews.
Oh.
Wow.
That's gut-wrenching right there. There was a melee in there. Maybe he squeezed the ball beyond the sticks, but wow, that was close.
That was close. Look, the yellow line is not official, right? So, I mean, from the yellow line, it looks short, but again, the yellow line may not be like the exact spot. Either way, man, gee.
Yeah, and Parker Thomas has said in the chat, you've challenged twice already, and I think that's the case.
Yeah, I was thinking so too. I was like, do they even have challenges? 2-minute warning. I mean, if the play was inside the 2 minutes, we would have seen a boot challenge. But that's the 2-minute warning. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music right here on YouTube.
It's not over yet. Remember, they punted at about the 31-yard line. I don't know if it was in this direction or not, but Minnesota's still on the fringe here.
4-3 defense for the legend. Handoff goes to Justin Williams, and Williams gets about 3. That should be in the fringe of field goal range.
It's fringy, and we know that we've got a wind here tonight, so so you just never know. Here we go. Another huge 3rd down. Minnesota playing hard.
We may see another brotherly Williams here. Even if it's from 2 yards out, I would just give it to him, and they will. And Justin Williams, it's absolutely automatic for a first down.
Well, they're up against it now. Oh man, I'm watching the replay in slow motion of that 3rd down play, and there's just no way to justify it. I mean, Minnesota very unlucky to get that spot and to not have a challenge left. That's a tough way. That's a tough way to end this half when they played so well. Moses is going to be put down. Okay, so 1:47 left, Ramos. They can run a minute and 20 off the clock if for somehow JT Delaney misses the field goal, or Arizona goes backwards for some reason. Minnesota's got a shot, but one more first down is going to end it.
From the 26-yard line, Ashley Jackson, another carry to Justin Williams, and Justin Williams will pick up about 7 that time. Just making it that much easier for their kicker in case they need him now. I'm pretty sure it's a right-footed kicker, so I will say the next play, maybe a run to put it on the right hash, just to give him a little bit more of a, comfortable positioning.
Look, I'm so impressed. Arizona scored no points in the second half, but they made a tactical change, and that was Justin Williams. He was what was working in this ground game to run the clock, and that's what Arizona went to, and that might win them the game, that decision. Yeah. They got to hurry here.
Yeah, they have to. Justin Williams, first down, that seals the game. And we go back, Cam. We go back to that tackle by Parker Thomas at the end of the first half, right? I know it's an 8-point game, but who knows, the 2-point conversion, whatever. And Arizona's in this position to, potentially win it anyway. But the play calling probably would have changed. That was a big play at the end of the first half.
That's true, Ramos. Football's a game of inches. Minnesota played so well and so hard tonight in this second half. But that play at the end of the first half can be looked back on as one of, 3 big plays in this game. You had the third down run from Moses that was marked a first down that was close. You had the near touchdown for Minnesota that was close. Just a couple of plays. Sometimes it's just the difference in this one. Arizona's going to move to 8-3. They're going to win the West, lock up a playoff spot, and leave Las Vegas to fend for themselves in the wild card. Minnesota is not out of it. Tulsa got hammered tonight. Indianapolis lost. This is still in play for Minnesota. And after a game like that at 3-8, hey, if you can play with anybody, then you can play with anybody in the playoffs too. Can't count out the legend. They are right in this thing. Wow, the last week of the season in the Central is going to be bonkers.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And this game is the example of it. Like, I bet you, Cam, Arizona doesn't want to see the Minnesota Legend in the playoffs.
No.
I know they beat them, but that was way too close for comfort here for the Arizona Scorpions. And I'm wondering as well, mathematically, what is the lowest you can make it winning your division? Is it 4-8?
Yeah. There is a scenario now in play, assuming Tulsa's going to lose this game. They're down by 29 with 6 minutes to go. There's a scenario where all 4 teams in the Central finish 4-8, and Minnesota would get in on divisional record. Even if there's 3 or 2 teams, Minnesota has been the best in the Central. If they beat Tulsa next week, they will be the best in the Central with a 3-1 record. It's anybody's game right now. Crazy.
Yeah, that's so wild to think. I mean, you think of last season, for example, the Aztecs. They missed the playoffs with a 7-5 record, right?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable that now 4-8 may win your division. As we take a look at the rest of the stats, everybody for Arizona, I think, offensively at least, contributed in a magnificent way. And Johnny Reno, despite 2 early interceptions, I think he played phenomenal in the second half. But unfortunately for Minnesota, it wasn't enough. Any final thoughts?
Player of the game, Parker Thomas. That tackle ended up winning the game for Arizona, and that was the play of the game. And an extra shout out to Coach Gage for that coaching change in the second half, getting Williams more involved, because that sealed the game too.
Personally, my player of the game, just to go a little bit different, Will Todd. I think he opened up the offense for Arizona, and he spread the Minnesota defense. For Cameron Irvine on the analysis, Justin Reside and Ron Haynes in the stats truck, I was Ramos Lynn. Thank you very much for watching the Simulation Football League's Week 12, or Week 13 rather. See you later.